How about those fighting and scrapping rebels?
Yeah!
That's what it all about.
We ain't out, baby.
Damn, I'm proud of you. Son of a gun.
We undefeated.
You're unbelievable.
As you can tell by the post-game fun, the Ole Miss Rebels are still undefeated in 1984. The Rebels beat Tulane 19-14. Final score Saturday to improve the record to 3-0-1. All the highlights and post-game interviews upcoming on the Billy Brewer Show. Hello again, everybody. I'm Ken Anderson, and welcome to week number 4 of the Billy Brewer Show. Ole Miss against the Tulane Green Wave. Like Coach Brewer said after the game, it was a scrappy bunch of Rebels that beat Tulane Saturday. The final score was 19-14, thus keeping Ole Miss's undefeated record intact at 3-0-1. Now, there were a lot of interesting storylines in this game, and we will try to cover all of them for you in the next 30 minutes. First of all, Saturday was homecoming at Oxford, and we will show you some of the music and some of the festivities to do with the homecoming activities. As for the team, the offensive line has really been depleted by injuries the past couple of weeks, so several freshmen had to step in against Tulane, and one of those was redshirt freshman Woody Sowen, who in 1 week went from the radio booth to the scout team to starter on the offensive line. That's kind of confusing, but we will iron it all out for you in just a minute. And finally, then there was quarterback Ken Austin, who was sick in bed all day Friday and Saturday morning, then came to the game, played the entire game, and led the Rebels to victory.
Well, there's a guy, you know, that was flat of his back on Friday that with the flu, and he got out of bed this morning and played a tight football game. He did, and you know, Kent is getting better each week. He has more command of the offense and more confidence in himself, and he's an excellent quarterback and a heck of a football player. And you know, I'm pleased for him. I'm excited that good things are happening for Ken Austin.
Statistically, Ole Miss outrushed Tulane 175 yards to 65, and that 65 yards allowed will certainly help Ole Miss's rushing defense average, which was already number 2 in the SEC. In the passing department, Ken Austin, sick or not, hit 16 of 26 passes, 61% for 159 yards. Tulane got 253 yards passing, but they put the ball in the air 46 times to get it. They completed only 19 for 41%. And the Rebels won the total yardage battle 334 yards to 318, and first downs 18 to 16. Now, Tulane was winless going into this game, but they had given Kentucky a real battle last weekend, and it was obvious Saturday that Tulane is a tremendously improved team. So that kind of sets the stage. Stay with us for all the highlights of Ole Miss and Tulane and all the post-game interviews when the Billy Brewer Show continues.
The Billy Brewer Show is being brought to you by Bryan Foods, Coca-Cola, Lennox Air Conditioning, Heileman's Old Style, and Mississippi Chemical.
Perfect football weather Saturday in Oxford, a slight chill in the air with temperatures in the mid-60s. A homecoming crowd of almost 34,000 would watch the Ole Miss Rebels put their undefeated record on the line against winless Tulane. First play of the game, Rebs made it look easy. Quarterback Ken Austin turned upfield on the option left, kept it for 13 yards to the 29. Then next play, Austin rolls out opposite way and spots senior flanker Jamie Holder on the right sideline, another 8-yard gain for the Rebels. The opening drive stalled out, though. Bill Smith came on to punt, and he got off a beauty, a high 50-yarder straight into the wind, pushing Tulane back into bad field position at their own 18. Saturday, Smith averaged 43 yards a punt. As expected, Tulane came out passing, but on 3rd and 10, Ken Karcher dropped back and met up with Rebel defensive end Freddie Joe Nunn. Nunn gets the sack, and Tulane would see that kind of defense quite a bit more on this day.
Carl Tobush and the defensive folks get the maximum effort out of our defensive people, and they got every scheme in the world going. And Tulane is a difficult team to defense. They are very patient, and they are very good at what they do in that passing game.
Midway through the first quarter, Ole Miss begins its first scoring drive of the day. 3rd and 5 from the 26. Kent Rose left, hooks up with freshman running back Joe Mickles in the flat, a 10-yard gain and a first down. Mickles, the freshman out of Birmingham, was the workhorse on this drive, running or catching the ball on 7 plays. Joe with the good spin move here for 12 yards. On the day, he caught 4 passes, carried the ball 4 times.
Well, I feel real honored. You know, we got so many tailbacks, and Coach Canty, I guess he thinks I can come in and contribute. You know, we just running a little delay pass, and at the time I have to be in there.
They're contributing to the football team when we need them, and we're not afraid to play them in any situation. You can see there was some real tough situations that they were in there on, and they'd pitch the ball to them or toss it to them on a sweep or a pass play, and they responded well.
This drive continues from midfield. Ken Austin drops back and dumps the short pass off to tailback Nathan Wansley. On this play, Wansley gets down to the Green Wave 43. During the day, Nathan had 6 catches for 70 yards. He was the leading receiver for the Ole Miss Rebels. Three plays later, it's 3rd and 1 from the 28-yard line. Austin keeps around left end and spins for 6 yards and the first down at the 22. During the afternoon, Kent kept 14 times for 55 yards on the day. Rebels are stopped at the 17, but with 55 seconds left in the quarter, John Howard comes on to kick a 34-yard field goal. Sweet redemption for the freshman out of Memphis who missed a field goal and a couple of extra points in the season opener against Memphis State.
A good confidence builder. I just lost some poise and had to rebuild the confidence in the team. I knew that I could do it, but I just had to prove to them and everybody else that I could do it in a game.
John had a good day. The kicker has good days and poor days, and I just hope he continues to get better. That helped him. As you could see, I think the kicks after that, he hit them with more authority and more confidence. So it helps our football team when we have a guy that can kick a field goal.
So after quarter number 1, Ole Miss led Tulane 3-0. Didn't stay that way long, though. Early in the second, the Green Wave put together a good drive. Here, quarterback David McLaughlin, replacing the starter Ken Karcher, scrambles for 13 yards to the Ole Miss 43. 2 plays later, McLaughlin goes to the air and hits tight end Larry Rout, a 20-yard strike, giving the Wave a first down at the 13. Then on 3rd and 5 from the 8-yard line, McLaughlin throws to his wide receiver in the corner of the end zone. Rebel defensive back Lee Davis on the cover, and in a mighty close call, Davis is whistled for pass interference. Here's the slow-mo replay. You be the judge. Regardless, the call gave Tulane a first down at the 2-yard line, and from there, McLaughlin lobs a pass to the tight end in the end zone. Touchdown, Green Wave, PAT good, and with 3:22 left in the first half of play, Tulane had taken a 7-3 lead over the Ole Miss Rebels. And Tulane soon had a chance to increase the lead. Rebels fumbled on the next possession, and the Wave recovered at the Ole Miss 20-yard line. Soon it was 2nd and goal from the 12 for the Green Wave. McLaughlin dropped back, couldn't find an open receiver, had to scramble left. Finally, he throws into the end zone, and it is intercepted by Lee Davis. Looked like Davis had nowhere to go at first, but the junior out of Amory finally headed upfield, cut to the left sideline, and outraced everybody for a 100-yard touchdown return. However, flags have been thrown back at midfield. Illegal block against Ole Miss, nullifying the points and bringing the ball back to the Rebel 46-yard line.
I saw the quarterback scrambling, so I just, floated over to where he was looking. And I saw him release the ball, and I just broke up on the ball. I caught it, and I saw the guys looking at me. They didn't know if I was going to run out or not. I saw a little room, and I just started bringing out, and they made a couple of blocks. That was it.
So Lee's touchdown might have been called back, but the interception still led to the Rebels' next score. First play, Austin hits Wansley out of the backfield for 13 big yards to the Tulane 41. Then another of the many freshman running backs steps into the spotlight. Redshirt freshman Quentin Pitts out of Jackson makes the catch, his first as an Ole Miss Rebel. Then the veterans take over. Quarterback Ken Austin rolls right, throws downfield for senior flanker James Harbor. Harbor bobbles the ball while on the run, finally hauls it in though with the good hands. A super catch for 22 yards down to the 14. A slow-mo replay. Good catch, James Harbor. There, the drive stalls out, but John Howard returns for his second field goal of the game, but the Rebels still go to halftime down 7-6. It is a new situation, the first time Ole Miss has been behind this season.
Football team this season has not been behind. And at halftime, we were behind 7-6 with 2 field goals. And last year, we never were ahead. We were always behind in every football game, and we came behind to win. So, what the personnel of this football team is yet, I really don't know. But we're getting close, and today was a big step in that direction.
So at halftime, Ole Miss trails Tulane, score 7-6. So again, Ole Miss trailing Tulane at halftime, and that's the first time all season the Rebels have been behind. And statistically, it was just about as even as the score indicates. The Rebels with a little advantage in total yards, 133-104. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Saturday was homecoming at Ole Miss, and the theme this year was Ole Miss is Calling. And as usual, thousands of alumni and friends heard that call, and feature reporter Tom Ryland put together this musical package highlighting the day's festivities. So the Rebels entered the second half down 7-6, but it must have been a heck of a halftime meeting because that would quickly change, much to the delight of the homecoming fans. Tulane got the ball first, but couldn't do a thing with it. Ken Karcher back in at quarterback, but didn't matter. His first pass broken up nicely by Howard Moss, the freshman out of Germantown, number 38. Third down, and Karcher back to the air again, but Barry Wilburn delivers the blow just as the ball arrives. Pass incomplete, and Tulane has to punt. Secondary swarming like bees.
How many yards they got when we bust the coverage or something, so we knew if we go out and correct our mistakes, then the game would be ours. That's what we did.
So fired up by the halftime talk and the defense as well, the Rebel offense takes over on the 36-yard line. Tailback Nathan Wansley sweeps left for 12 yards. A good run for Nate Wansley and an omen of good things to come for the Ole Miss Rebels. Wansley completely dominates this drive. Here he takes the option pitch from Austin and cuts up for 10 more yards. That gives Ole Miss a first down at the Tulane 37. Next play, Kent back to pass. Tulane linebackers dropping deep to take away the long ball, so he dumps to Nathan underneath. It's a pick-em-apart 6-yard gain. Now the Rebels face a 3rd and 2 situation. Another promising freshman, Willie Goodlow, gets the call and converts into a first down at the 22. Next play, Tulane still giving up the short stuff, so Austin and Wansley certainly know what to do with it. Nathan makes the catch, heads upfield, cuts outside and breaks open, and just before he's run down, Wansley dives for the goal line and the touchdown. A nice 22-yard run by the Moss Point Jr., extra point good, and Ole Miss took the lead for good, 13-7.
I have a lot of respect for our offensive line because there was a lot of people out today, and I give it all to them because they really blocked well today, and I'm glad to be running behind a good line like we have today.
What percent at halftime? Seemed like y'all really came out fired up in the second half.
It was
really funny. We came in here at halftime and everybody was just kind of down. You know, nobody was talking up, and I had somebody over there in the corner said, "What's wrong with you guys? You know, we're still going to win." And everybody was like, "Yeah, you know, we're still going to win." So we got pumped up. Coach Brewer came in here and pumped us up. He got us ready to go out there.
Midway in the third quarter, the pass-happy Green Wave put together a good drive in the air. Karcher passes to Jones for 11 yards here. Tulane's two quarterbacks threw 46 times during the game, completed 19 for 253 yards. This pass covered 25 yards over the middle from Karcher to Wade Elmore, giving the Wave momentum and a first down at the Ole Miss 24. But the Rebels secondary held up under the aerial attack. Tulane was forced to try a 47-yard field goal. It was wide to the left, and Ole Miss was still on top 13-7 the score at the end of the third quarter of play. Now, early part of the final stanza. The two teams simply battled it out up and down the field. Opening series here, Kent dropped back and fired a bullet to tight end Steve Joyner. Then Austin tossed a quick pass to split end Timmy Moffitt at the right sideline. Moffitt is drawing a lot of defensive attention these days, and that was his only catch of the day. 2 plays later, Rebels faced a 4th and 1. They went for it, but Wansley was stacked up just short of the first down. So Tulane took over, but that only meant that it was front and center for the Rebel defense once again, and they took advantage. McLaughlin threw over the middle. It was tipped by defensive end Jay Webb. It hung in the air, and linebacker Dan Boyce dove for the interception. That was the Pelehatchie Jr.'s second Oskey of the young season. Impressive because this is Boyce's first year at linebacker, having moved over from the offensive line. So the offense makes its second appearance of the fourth quarter. Kent back to pass and spots Quentin Pitts again out of the backfield. Play covers 8 yards to the 38. That brought up 3rd and 1. Austin looked for Brandon Steve Joyner, just out of reach though, so the Rebels had to punt. But the defense liked center stage so much it took matters into its own hands once again. McLaughlin back to pass, throws right, but number 66 Rebel freshman linebacker Jeff Harrod stepped in front for his first interception at Ole Miss. Harrod, a freshman out of Birmingham, Alabama.
Wasn't really highly recruited. I was only recruited by a small school in Alabama, and I was overlooked by Alabama and Auburn, you know, and I have a high school coach who played under Coach Brewer at Southeast Louisiana, and he sort of helped me out with a scholarship up here. And I told him when I came up here, you're going to hear about me, you know. I told him I was going to give him my best, 110%.
Today's the day he heard.
Yes, sir.
So the Rebel offense begins its third possession of the fourth quarter, and third possession turns out to be charmed. Senior fullback Arthur Humphrey makes sure of it. Humphrey had been unusually quiet all day, but here he broke loose over right tackle and romped for 32 yards down to the 2-yard line. And believe it or not, that was the longest carry of his Rebel career. Humphrey, usually a tough short yardage man. Now, 2nd and goal from the 4, a little misdirection. Backfield goes left and Austin rolls right and spots the dependable Steve Joyner in the end zone. Joyner always seeming to make the big catch when needed.
Send the players in, and that, I guess they feel like that for a 3rd down or whatever they want me in the game. I don't feel as I'm any better than any of the other tight ends. They just send me in, and it just happens that I do catch the ball. It has to be caught, and that's.
Rebels tried for the 2-point conversion but failed, so the score was 19-7 Ole Miss with some 7 minutes left in the game. And as you can tell, though it wasn't over yet, Karcher passes to route for 9 yards. But senior defensive end Freddie Joe Nunn was making Tulane earn everything they got. The Rebels' leading tackler is a strong candidate for postseason honors.
Well, my first goal is to make all SEC and hopefully all American. If I get a chance to play pro ball, I think that'll be great. And I also want to get my education so that I have something to fall back on after playing pro ball if I'm lucky enough to play. I've been kind of dreaming of being a high school coach and working my way up, maybe from high school to college and on up to professional. That's been one of my biggest dreams. I would love to come back and coach at Ole Miss. I think I've had a pretty good 4 years here, and that'll be something to look back on. It's a really great feeling to play for Coach Brewer because he's a good all-around man, and he also played here at Ole Miss, and that means a lot. I like the defense that we're running now, and I think it opened up a lot of big plays for me because sometimes we got pass rush on the line, then we'll be dropping sometimes. And I think it's good to mix it up like that, and that way the offensive line will know what we're going to do. And that's to my advantage, I think. There's a lot of good people here on campus. Fans come out and support us real well. You know, it's really a great place.
Closing minutes of the game, Tulane still had some fireworks left with 1:17 on the clock. Karcher hits Mark Zeno in the end zone for a 28-yard touchdown pass. With the extra point, the score was 19-14, Ole Miss on top. And the Green Wave kept it more than exciting till the final buzzer. They got the ball back with 41 seconds left on the clock. Karcher hooks up with Harrison for 25 yards up to the 45-yard line. Then with 7 seconds left in the game, final play. It's Karcher to Harrison again, a 40-yard pass play, but Eric Truitt makes the stop at around the 15 with no time left. So the Ole Miss Rebels remain undefeated in 1984. They improved to 3-0-1 by downing Tulane on homecoming day. Final score 19-14.
High school seniors, worried about your future? Worry no more. Ole Miss can help with the tough decisions ahead. Ole Miss is known the world over for producing some of the top men and women in their field.
They make you want to learn, and they make you want to take time out and really study.
If you need help in the classroom, they're glad to help you after class or office hours. You go by and see them, they'll be glad to help you.
Ole Miss cares about its students and their success.
Ole Miss is a very special place. You meet a lot of fun people, a lot of neat people, and people that'll be your friends for the rest of your life.
I think the size actually makes Ole Miss a lot more personal.
The people, it makes it special and really nice.
I think it's one of the finest universities in the South.
It's just an atmosphere about it. Ole Miss, it's just great.
It's just special. It's like a second home.
Now, one of the interesting storylines I mentioned at the top of the show was that of the redshirt freshman offensive lineman Woody Sowen out of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Last week against Louisiana Tech, Woody wasn't even dressed out. In fact, he was up in the radio booth with Stan Torgerson. And because of numerous injuries in the offensive line, though, Woody not only got to play against Tulane, he was the starting offensive tackle for the Ole Miss Rebels.
I was thinking I was going to get the start, so that just was like the cherry on the chocolate sundae. And I kind of clenched my fist and I smiled to myself, but I did a lot today. I did a few good things out there that I was proud of. I made some mistakes, but when you do good, you smile to yourself. You feel something inside, and I was just proud that I could represent the University of Mississippi out there on the football field.
Now, looking ahead to next week, the Rebels conclude their 3-game homestand here in Oxford by opening the SEC schedule against the Auburn Tigers. Game time 11:15 a.m. Saturday morning. The SEC battle to be televised nationally by WTBS, but Rebel fans, I guarantee you, Coach Brewer and the team need your support in the stands. So please make plans to join the Rebels in Vaught Hemingway Stadium Saturday to battle the Auburn Tigers. That'll wrap up week number 4 of the Billy Brewer Show. I'm Ken Anderson. Join us next week for all the highlights and all the post-game interviews of Ole Miss against the Auburn Tigers.
The Billy Brewer Show has been brought to you by Bryan Foods, Coca-Cola, Lennox Air Conditioning, Heileman's Old Style, and Mississippi Chemical.
This program was pre-recorded.